Hey guys, I wanted to take a second today to talk about medial and lateral epicondylitis, or tennis elbow, golfer's elbow. Just basically irritation in the elbow typically happens from repetitive motions over and over. So this one specifically is for a friend, Nathan. He's a drummer. He has been playing a lot more lately, and he's just kind of toughing through it. His elbow's killing him, and he was not sure what all to try. And people had mentioned maybe a cortisone shot that does get rid of inflammation, but there's side effects with that. There's myofascial release, which some of y'all may know. A simple start that I told him to try is actually using a voodoo band for some work, and then doing an ice massage rather than just global ice. Now, what tennis or medial epicondylitis and lateral epicondylitis and golfer's elbow, all that stuff is whenever there's muscles and tendons that come up and wrap around this joint and they attach. Let's say one's coming around here and attaches, and then I'm playing tennis a lot or drumming. Then this is getting a lot of work right around where it wraps the bone. There ends up being inflammation, and then these little bitty spots end up really, really tender. There's inflammation, then the body actually throws in a little bit of spasm around that. You're not gonna feel it seize up like a spasm, more just like a locking mechanism. You get trigger points built up so that it's stabilizing the joint, trying to keep it from further injury. You end up with knots that are just really tender. So that's one way that people will use myofascial release, is to actually go in and do some scraping to break up adhesions and scar tissue, which can happen if it's been there long enough or a previous injury has caused that to loop back around. And then ice, just global ice, helps flush out inflammation. With voodoo band, it works very similar to the myofascial release, but the way that you do it, this is just a really tight band. You can get it, I got them on roguefitness.com. You can probably get them at Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, all that stuff. And it's a lot easier if you have somebody else doing it to you on your elbow. You can do it on your knee, something like that, where you have both your hands. The elbow by yourself is difficult. So Nathan, for you, have somebody do it. But what you want to do is start by laying this around mid upper forearm, and then this wraps around, and then you pull and you just loop until you're going up around that joint. I like to stagger above and below, and then once it's on, you take it through range of motion. Flex it, come all the way down, roll out, bring it in, sit for a second, and then I'll actually let my arm relax so it can sink deeper. And you're helping separate the fascia from the muscle, letting inflammation and fluid just move around easier. It can help break up some scar tissue. The only trick is, right now, this is still at its full width, so it's not tight at all. Whenever you are having this put on, you want it strapped tight to where, typically, if this is the normal thickness, it's going to be maybe 3/4 or a little bit less, so you want to make it tight. So it's going to be tender. Whenever they're wrapping it around, it gets intense. And then you pull and you tighten those muscles, but then you relax and it gets a little intense for a minute, but it really helps relieve it. Another friend, Nick, does this, and he works out with us at our CrossFit. It helps him a lot. He has to keep doing it. That's the only problem, is unless you can sometimes remove what you're doing repetitively that irritates that joint, it can be difficult to get it to stay away. Sometimes there is joint dysfunction. So if there's joint dysfunction causing things to not move well, which is causing that inflammation, then maybe you can actually get it completely resolved by getting normal joint motion in that area. And then the other piece that I was going to tell you about is ice massage. So rather than global ice, you can use ice massage like myofascial release a little bit as well, but also you can get deeper into the joint. And let's say that this is a piece of ice. Slippery, wet, right? So I'm gonna wrap a paper towel around it, and then I'm gonna actually use it to grind into these joints. Here's a couple bones, and I'm gonna work my way all around these grooves, around out here, and then you can hit a little bit with ice afterwards to calm it down. Drink a lot of water. There's also, always some good things for inflammation. It's turmeric, curcumin, a number of other things, but start with that, see how that goes for you. If you have any questions, let me know, and then I will see y'all later.